My dad, he was a family man. His name was Alvin. And he did everything that he could for me and my siblings. But we always could see that he was hurting in some way and that he was holding in a lot of anger, and we didn't know why. And like most men, he held everything in.
I didn't realize that I had a lot of anger issues. My mom passed away when I was 9 years old. My dad passed away really early. And I went from being just what I thought was a favorite child to having to be a caretaker for two other children inside our family.
He didn't show a lot of affection or a lot of emotions growing up. One day after school, me and my sister came home, and he randomly came up to us and gave us a hug. And later on, we had joked about it, saying that, oh, he must be getting help somewhere. Little did we know that he actually was seeking help, and that he was getting help here at Love and Grace through the Live Life Healed program.
At points, you don't know where to turn. But Love and Grace taught me how to lay those things at the cross, how to forgive myself, because I had a lot of things too within me that I need to forgive myself, how to do that, and how to let God bear those things and bear them up. During the process, it was such a wonderful thing because God intervened in what I like to call Holy Ghost moments, where just tears would just come out, where I made a discovery of things and just was able to say, God, I give this to you. I'm tired of holding it. I'm tired of bearing it up. I just lay this all at the cross for you. And God was able to come in with just a flood of experience, just a flood, and just it was overwhelming. I just felt the rush of God from the top of my head all the way down to my feet, just a warmth, and just as if he just came in and just gave me a big old hug at that moment. And it was just a wonderful thing.
After going through the program, he became an encourager himself, then became a monthly donor, and then he was put on the board committee.
One of the things with God is he wants you to go out and tell someone else. And the process now is that I'm now working inside the ministry. I get to, a wonderful thing, I get to talk to other people, other guys, and help them be delivered from their problems. And it's a marvelous thing. And one of the things about the ministry, it often hits you first. As they're delivered, I'm delivered. So it's just a marvelous thing to work with them.
A couple years later, I moved back to Muskegon, and I was just going through depression and hurt, and I didn't have a purpose for my life. And my dad handed me the card to Love and Grace so that I could seek my own healing. And from the first session, a light flipped on. From 13 years of depression and mental torment, in just 9 weeks of going to the Live Life Healed program, I felt joy for the first time. And now I'm here working on the Love and Grace team. Before my dad had passed, he left me with one thing that I will always remember. He handed me a peach pit, and he told me to look at it, and he asked, "So what do you see?" And I looked at it, and I said, "I see a seed." And he said, "Beyond the seed, what do you see?" I said, "I see a tree." And he said, "Beyond the tree, what do you see?" I said, "I see an orchard." He said, "Can you see the orchard from the seed? Can you see that one empowered kid grabbing hold of their friend's hand and asking if they can be part of the program? Can you see the father who went through his own healing handing the card and passing that down to his daughter. That's really what Love and Grace provides. It's one seed, but it's really a harvest of love, grace, hope, mental clarity, and peace. Can you see how just one gift can produce a generation of healing, a harvest of healing?
Love and Grace is a healing station. And as you sow to Love and Grace, they go out, people come in, and people come in that are hurting, that have been hurt, that receive healing, and they receive healing through Jesus. They speak to the epicenter of the person, the core problem. And a lot of times in life, we graze through life and we don't see ourselves. Love and Grace help us to understand that core problem, and inside understanding that core problem, we receive healing. And as we receive the healing, we're able to go out and help others. You cannot give to anything else that's any more worthy than that, to have a person to receive Christ inside the midst of being healed.